Welcome back to my road to completion guide for Control. This is episode 2. And just in the back of the boardroom, you can see it. There's a treasure crate. I want you guys to go ahead and pick this up. Remember, the reward is going to be random. If it's a mod and you guys want to put it on your gun, that's fine. You can see that I got a material. I'm going to show you here. You go over to assets, you can see the materials. Make sure that you guys are picking up all the materials. I forgot to mention this in my episode 1 commentary, but I would have put it in my pinned comment as a note. Anytime you guys kill enemies in the game, make sure that you're picking up these assets. We're gonna need these for later on in order to pop some trophies, okay? Let's come over here to the shelter. I want you guys to pick up another collectible. This will be collectible 19 of 120. It's called control points. It's telling you guys about the control points that we talked about in episode 1. In fact, let me go ahead and talk a little bit more about materials. Just like with the treasure crates, they're going to be random drops from the enemies. So you guys might be watching my gameplay. You're going to see me go through an enemy wave. I might get 3 undefined readings and 1 astral blip. Okay, those are 2 materials in the game. You guys might not get anything for that particular combat wave. Don't be discouraged, just pick up what you can, okay? I have specific farming spots. We're gonna be able to get all the materials we need to pop these trophies. So whatever you guys are falling behind on in terms of materials, you can catch up once we get to those farming spots. Now, obviously, the more materials you guys can pick up along the way, the less farming you have to do later on in the guide. So I would encourage you guys to just really comb through these combat areas. Make sure you're checking behind all the desks and the steps and all that stuff, because eventually you're going to be fighting enemies that are going to be flying around the area. You can actually fly in this game. You can levitate. But there's no telling where the treasures are going to be dropping, if that makes sense. So just make sure you're really looking around. Find all the materials that you can so you guys can save some time when it comes to farming later on in the guide. Now, this is a prime example of how you play out a combat area defensively. Notice I've got the stairs over here to my left that I can use as a head glitch. I'm protected. As long as the enemies don't shoot me, I'm good, right? There's a wall to my right, so I can't get flanked. None of these enemies can fly, so I don't have to worry about anybody coming over the top of me. There's no enemies to my left up the steps. So this is a perfect combat scenario for me to play things out defensively. The only problem is, if I would have got shot back there, I would have had to go to where the enemies were to get my health back. You guys can see how this process could be quite grueling, especially when you're in a combat area with like 20 enemies. And there's going to be combat areas, guys, where there's more than 20 enemies. I'm just showing you there that that's what a material looks like when it's on the ground. And I think we have another control point coming up here in a sec. Yeah, see right there? See the red glow on the upper platform? We just got to get through this wave of enemies before we can get up there and interact with it. The main reason why you want to cleanse these control points, other than trying to pop the trophy, is that you can fast travel from these control points once you cleanse them. You can also get your health back. So you can be in the middle of a combat situation. Maybe you're low on health. Maybe all the enemies are downrange because you decided to play things out defensively. You start to die, run back, hit square, get all your health back. So you guys can literally camp the control points for unlimited health. And I showed that one time in this run. There's I think it's a Bureau alert mission that we're on. We have to kill some high value targets, and we fast travel into a control point. We're downstairs, they're upstairs, so we don't have that far to run to get to them. But they're heavy hitters. They do a lot of damage. We're pretty leveled up when we get there, but they just hit really hard. And you'll see in the gameplay that they hit me one time randomly. I took a lot of damage. I just ran back to the control point. He was chasing me the whole time, the high value target was. But boom, I just got to the control point, pressed square, healed right up, and then did more damage to him. Of course, killed him and finished out the mission. So it's a great way for you guys to have a little bit of an advantage as long as you can fall back to the control point. Alright guys, so this is the moment of truth. You need to figure out how you want to run this game. Do you want to create backup saves and farm for some of these trophies and save some time? Or you guys want to go through the game and not create backup saves? If you do want to create backup saves, this is how you do it, okay? Notice what we have here, 8, 2, 10, and 2. That's a total of 22 collectibles. That's what you guys should have picked up so far. Don't worry about it if you miss one along the way. It's not really a big deal. It'll just take you guys a little bit long to farm it, okay? So notice what I'm doing here. I'm just dashboarding, going into application save data management, quitting the application, and now I have 4 options. I'm going to choose option 1. And then I'm going to choose whether I'm going to upload to online storage. That's for those of you who are on PlayStation Plus, or if I'm going to copy the save file to my USB storage device. I have a USB storage device. I'm going to go ahead and copy mine over. You want to copy over the very first one, save game slot 00. You can see we have one called Save Game Slot 01, Preferences, Trophies. It's always going to be with the one that says 00, guys, okay? Once you guys have copied that over, whether it be your online storage or your USB, now you can go back into the game. So for those of you who are new to creating backup saves, let me explain to you what we just did. We created a backup save where you guys had 22 collectibles. We put that save either on the PlayStation Plus cloud storage or the USB storage device, okay? That's where it's currently being held. Now you guys are gonna run around this area and collect 7 more collectibles. 7 plus 22 is 29. So when you're done, you're gonna have 29 of the 120 collectibles. Now, as soon as you pick up the 29th collectible, okay, the game is going to write you a new save file where you have 29 of the 120 collectibles. But we don't want that file. So what we're going to do is dashboard again. We're going to go back into our PlayStation Plus cloud storage or back to our USB storage device. And we're going to pull that save file where we only had 22 collectibles back to our console. When the game loads that save file, it's going to put us back up top at the control point. Then the 7 collectibles that we're picking up now are going to be available for us to pick up again and again and again until we get to 120 collectibles, and that's going to be enough for us to pop 3 trophies: Strange Collection, Record Keeper, and Bureau Archivist. Now I'll show you what I mean here in just a second, guys. Let's go ahead and get the last collectible. This will be collectible 29 of 120. And I'll show you where my count says that I have 29. Remember, we started this with 22. I just went around, picked up 7 collectibles. Now I have 29. Go over to collectibles, add the numbers up, 29. Okay, remember, you might have 28, 27. I know I've been talking a lot about other things in the gameplay. Maybe you missed a collectible. It doesn't matter, guys. As long as you have more than what you started with, you're good to go. Go to Application, Save Data Management, press OK. Now you're going to be choosing from either option 2 or option 3. Option 2 is if, of course, you guys are using the PlayStation Cloud storage. Option 3 if you're using a USB storage device like me. And now we want to copy the file from earlier back over to the system storage. The file that we're moving is basically telling the game that we've only got 22 collectibles. We know that the game thinks we have 29 because we just collected 29. But we're about to tell the game, no, we don't want 29, we want 22. So when you guys load back in, you'll see that when we go into our menu here, go over to collectibles, add the numbers up, 22. We're going to go around and collect these 7 collectibles again. And even though the game's going to tell us that we have 29, we know that we always have a higher number than that. Now, this process is going to take you guys a little bit of time, but now we don't have to worry about collecting anything for the rest of the game. We can just get in there and kill a bunch of stuff and have some fun, right? Now, for those of you who don't want to use backup saves, you can already see that it's not going to take you guys long to get to 120 collectibles. There's well over 200 collectibles in this game. We're only in episode 2, and even if you guys decide not to farm, at this point in the game, you already have 29 of the 120 collectibles. And you've probably already noticed at this point that most of these collectibles are automatic, which means if you kill a new enemy in the game, you get a collectible. You talk to an NPC, you finish a side mission. A lot of these things are tied to collectibles. You finish a main mission in the game. A lot of times you'll get 5 or 6 collectibles for doing that. On my first playthrough of this game, and I didn't do any side missions, I just went straight through the game. I got over 55 collectibles, and I never picked up a collectible like we're doing here. I just played through the game, and the missions alone gave me over 50 collectibles. So when you count in the fact that you're going to be doing side missions, the 29 that I already have you guys now, even if you decide not to farm, you can see how tightly grouped these collectibles are. A lot of times you walk into an area, there's 5 collectibles in one area, right? So it's not going to take you guys a lot of roaming around to find these collectibles. Not to mention, we're going to be exploring just about every single room in this game. So all you have to do is just keep your eyes peeled for those squared, prompts that show up over those collectibles. Pick them up as you go, and that'll be enough to give you guys the 120 collectibles you need to pop all 3 trophies. This is also good for you guys to know in case this ever gets patched. I don't think there's a way that they could patch this because it's tied to your save file, but just in case they do, because I am putting this series up fairly close to when the game was launched, just in case they patch this, then just keep on moving on with the guide. You see what I mean? Like I told you guys, most of the collectibles are going to pop just because you are running the game, completing missions and stuff like that, automatic, right? But as you go through the game, just keep your eyes peeled for those little interaction points. Go up there, hit square, get those collectibles. I hope you guys have enjoyed. I'll see you right back here in the next one. Be good.